And so a lot of times, you're setting up things for later on in the game. Two, you want to see what they're going to do in different personnel. 3-by-1, you want to get you want to show everything to see what you're going to get, because it does give you more information for later on.
You mentioned this to me a couple weeks ago that you wanted to learn about your personnel.
Yeah.
Like, what have you learned now? 8 days in the camp.
A lot. I mean, they're getting better. I've been very happy with the O-line, the way they've been running off the ball. I think we got a pretty good group up there. I think our tight ends are exactly what I thought they were. Our backs are getting more and more comfortable with our run schemes. Our receivers, it's been really fun to watch these guys. Because they're all at different places. It's such an interesting room, and watching them. And some of them just don't know it. There's so much to learn about route running and coverage and where to sit and how to find a hole and how to block and where to block and how physical to block. And so, the jury's still out on that room, because there's tons of them that are probably like, this guy has a day and he pops on tape the next day. And so I love that, because the numbers are good. The one big, Jacob, our new receiver, it's been fun to watch him. He's played football before, you can tell. He's physical. He runs great routes. He's just always working hard. He competes harder than many of the guys that I've been around. So it's been fun. It's been good for the room to watch a guy like that, a real pro, work. And so it's fun. We're still learning which routes, because we can put anybody anywhere, right? So we were just having a discussion upstairs about a certain play and who we wanted to put on this route and who we wanted to put on this route. Like, I've already seen him run this route. He's really good at it, but I'd like to see this other guy run the route and see if he's good at it too. So we flipped the formation. So tomorrow when we run it, we're going to have different guys running different routes. And then, by game one, whoever's the best at it is going to run that route. You know what I mean? But right now we're still kind of in the exploratory phase. But it's fun when a guy runs it well, or sometimes they're just young, and they run a route that's not exactly right. You go out there and they don't know any better, and you teach them, and the next time they run it, they got it. So it's been there's been a lot of exploratory work in the wide receiver crew, and it's been fun to watch.
How do you get the most off him? So that's the sense I've got from you and Kirk so far.
Yeah.
A little bit rusty. Yeah. Knows the game mentally, but rusty. How do you shake that before first?
Just stick to it in this. I mean, he is a competitor now. Like, if he's not perfect, he's angry. You know what I mean? Like, he gets hard on himself. I was the same way. Like, no one, you can yell at me all you want, and I don't have to yell at him. It's like Luke. Luke Lachey once ran a route wrong, and he was heartbroken. The day was hot. He should have cut it off at like 4. He ran it to 6. He came back with his eyes like, I screwed that up. I should have cut it off. I'm like, it's okay. You'll get it next. Like, he already gave me the answer, right? Kate's the same way. He comes back with the answer. Mad as heck at himself for taking an extra step, or for not progressing when he shouldn't have, or sticking on it when he should have progressed, and then the next day it's fixed. So it's really just time. And in the pocket early on, he was a little skittish in the pocket, rightfully so. I was there before, and now in the pocket he's sliding, stepping up. He's doing some great things. So it's fun, even when a guy who's played that much football has the willingness and the toughness to have to battle through some injury. And now he's cleared, and now you just got to get out of your head, right? That's all you got to do. And it's been fun to watch him, because he's gotten better every single time we've gone out there.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about how much you worked with receivers at Western Michigan, even though you were coaching quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, we have past unit meetings. We're starting to do that here a little bit, just to make sure that they understand the exact. There's 3 of them out there, and there's 1 coach out there. So it's fun when I can get in the room, because I can coach. He can coach one side, I can coach the other side, and just making sure they understand what to do in all the different scenarios. And so, we finally, just 2 days ago, got them to learn how to double up correctly and get themselves open, and they're all starting to get it, and because you don't have a lot of indie time, and those guys need a lot. With young kids, you want a ton of indie time. With a veteran team, you want a ton of team time, right? And so there's only so many minutes in the day. But yeah, that group is, I've spent a ton of time with them, because they're like the quarterbacks and wideouts and tight ends. They better be talking all the time, and I normally bring them both to me, and I say, what did you see? What did you see? We need to get on the same page, and so I mean, obviously, as a quarterback, you love your wideouts, so I spend a ton of time on them.
So it just seems like, Sky Moore, Dwayne Eskridge, Jaden Reed, they're all under-recruited, undersized. They all end up being second-round draft picks. So what was the secret there? Besides just recruiting guys that were diamonds in the rough?
Yeah, I think we've done a good job recruiting, but I think those guys are hungry and they want to work, and they're coachable, right? And so, all those guys, the system definitely helped them, We tried to put them in good situations to maximize their ability, figure out what they're good at, and make sure that they're running that a lot. But really, it's just they take coaching, right? I mean, you just learn. You got a guy who's a really good athlete that's hungry. I mean, Jaden Reed, when he got drafted last year, was awesome. He got drafted to the Packers, you know, and so I recruited him out of high school, and then I got to be there when he was drafted. And he came in the same way he did as a freshman, just hungry, just wanted to work. And that room is young and willing. And so their curve is different than everyone else's. You know, they have, the sky's the limit for those guys. So it's been fun to watch them just kind of grind and learn from each other, because we're trying to coach all of them at the same time. And so, but the difference from one day to the next for them is monumental. It's been fun to watch, you know, from where we were at. I want to say the first day of one-on-ones, I don't know if we caught a ball, you know, and today was a pretty good one-on-one day. So they're starting to understand, you know, how to get open, how to get separation, you know, and so that's going to help the quarterbacks out a lot.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, you had several different wide receiver coaches while you were during that stretch.
They all did jobs. Yeah.
So I guess besides the system, what was the common denominator to be able to get this much production out of these guys?
Well, we would always make sure we're teaching everything the same, no matter who was in there. You know what I mean? So no matter which court, I had a lot of wideout coaches.
Yeah.
They'd all move up, get good jobs, you know, which is great. It's fun when they move on. But we're always having the past unit meetings, and we were making sure we use the same names, and this is the double up, and this is how you run this route in this coverage, and this is how you run in that coverage, and this is where you sit, and this is what we call it. And so it's been fun, you know, to bring that here, you know, and slowly, it takes a while to learn, you know, but it comes down to how much you focus and how much you want to study, and that group's been studying. They've been doing a good job
with the playbook. I think if I'm remembering correctly, in the spring you were saying you were about 80% of the way there. Is that now 100 or?
No, I'd say we're only day 8. I'd say we're about 80 again. You know, I think we're getting there. I mean, it comes down to situational stuff now. Most of our base stuff is in. We got some red zone stuff. We got some 2-minute at the end of the game stuff, and we got a lot of those things to put in. But most of our base stuff is in, you know, and to do it, we're in install 6 right now. Today was install 6. We only got 8. So the install that's left is very minimal. And now we have to just got to sharpen the sword, right? We got to execute it in this pressure against that pressure. We got to get it when they're in cover 4, when they're in cover 2, when they're in cover 6, many, all the different coverages. So now we're trying to get our reps in, you know, now that they know what they're doing, and show them the benefit of the offense and how we can change the picture and run the same play again. You know, we did a couple things today where I showed them 3 ways we could do it, and I showed them a 4th way we can do it, where everyone's running this route, so everyone pay attention. You know, I showed them all the different ways we can run the same route, and so it's been fun that they're starting to see it, they're starting to see how it works. It'll be fun to hear what they say, but they've been working hard, and we've been having, you know, against our defense, started to have a ton of success, but we've been having success when we can, and we're able to move the ball down the field in 2-minute drill, which is really hard to do. That takes a long time to do, and so it's been fun to watch them. You know, long way to go, but it's been a good start.
With the wide receiver position, obviously, no secret, production has not been fantastic there. You've probably gotten this question a few times. But kind of, how do you see this scheme kind of helping in terms of getting them a little more involved?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you run the ball effectively, and if as a wide receiver, if you're willing to go, you can ask anyone, not anyone, but you guys, most people in the NFL about Cooper Kupp, and he's the best blocking running receiver you'll find. Now, since the knee, I think Coop is doing most of it now. But back in the day, when he I mean, he was the best. I mean, he had a ton of touchdowns, ton of catches. But when you're willing to go in there and fight, and those linemen and tight ends, you go in there and block physically, you know, that sets up play pass, that sets up everything. You know, you get some easier touchdowns, you get some long gains, you know. We still got to work on when they know we're throwing it, and we have to throw. We have to be good at finding holes and understanding coverage. And those are things we have to continue to work on. The thing about the offense is obviously when you can run the ball, you can get some easier explosive plays. Nothing's easy. Every game's going to be hard, but you know, when you can run the ball, the offense is more prone to getting some big pass plays. So it'll make their job easier, but there's a price to pay for it. I mean, you're gonna have to go in there and throw it in there, and they've been doing it. It's been fun. The DBs have been talking. I mean, they're trying. They're getting in there. You know, so it changes the dynamic of the run game. You watch a 8-yard run with good wide receiver blocking, that's a 20-yard run. You know, and that's kind of, and then the play pass is normally a 50-yard game. So I think they're starting to understand their piece of every single play. Your piece isn't just on pass plays. Your piece is on the run game. You're all over this thing. So it's been fun to watch those guys understand that and get better at it.
Can you talk about waste downs? What's your theory on 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, or even 3rd and 1 and 4 down situations?
I go back and forth because obviously going against Phil, there's a lot he can do. Obviously you get the 2nd and 1, it is a free down, right? You get the 3rd and 1 in 4th down territory, it can be a free play, and that really comes from the head coach. Do you want us to load up and try to go get this first down? Do you want to take a shot and come back? And I'll be asking that question a ton of him, and I'll tell him my opinion, like I'm ready to take a shot. But we've run the ball the last 4 plays and we got the safeties low, like now's I think a shot. But defensive coordinators know that too, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be a discussion with coach of what to do in those situations. And obviously, if we can get in those situations, we're doing well. We want to be efficient on first down, and we want to be efficient on second down. We want to get ourselves in 3rd and shorts and 3rd and manageables. And I think that's the key to every offense. If you get yourself in 3rd and long, you're in trouble, and so hopefully we can get into those situations where we have those decisions to make, because you're probably gonna get the first down on some of them, you're gonna be aggressive on some of them, a 50-50 split, but the head coach normally makes that call.